Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to the 50th anniversary of Chicago's Harvest Moon Dancesport Championship. The original festival has roots that go all the way back more than 50 years, all the way back to 1927. The Daily News, New York's largest newspaper, sponsored the first Harvest Moon Festival. The venue was New York Central Park. Unexpectedly, the event attracted 75,000 people. All who came were there to observe or participate in the competition. The crowd for this event was overwhelming and much too large to control. Mayor James Walker, while taking measures to avoid any unfortunate accidents, decided to shut down the possibility for any future plans for festivals in the park. Several years had passed, and then in 1935, renewed interest and efforts were put into motion to try again. This time the venue was Madison Square Garden, where in 2 days' time, 20,000 tickets were sold. For sure, everyone loves a dance competition, and so this annual event continued to be successful for many years to come, something like 40. If we fast forward to 1945, World War II was over and the country was in need of positive and joyful events. That year, 1945, Chicago Stadium opened its doors for the first time to host in this great city the first presentation of the Sun-Times Harvest Moon Festival. When the stadium was built in 1929, it was the largest indoor arena in the world. It was an unforgettable event. With Mel Barker, the organizer, and Irv Kupcinet as the master of ceremonies, it became Chicago's greatest entertainment event of the year. It went on delighting all who attended for 17 successful years. Both New York and Chicago would host an annual Harvest Moon Festival that would prove to be the two greatest dance events in America. It was a whirl of song and music and comedy, all taking place while presenting the most prestigious dance contest of the year. 10 days prior to the big event, dance enthusiasts from far and near would look forward to the tryouts. They were also called eliminations. The entry phase lasted for 2 days. It was a grueling process for the judges and all involved. It was a rendezvous for all the top dancers in the region. 500 registered couples would compete in groups of 10, each vying for the possibility to compete again in the finals. The competition included dances such as foxtrot, waltz, tango, rumba, cha-cha, jive, etc. Many would vie, but few were chosen. 30 couples to be exact. 12 for the ballroom division, 2 for the professional division, despite having a very large entry. 8 couples for the adult jitterbug and 8 couples for the high school jitterbug. The chosen couples were the royalty of the town. On the big night of the festival, they had to be well protected and safely delivered to the arena. The dancers were transported from their downtown hotel while surrounded with police escort on motorcycles. It was a nonstop all the way with sirens blaring everywhere. It was like a presidential motorcade. Each year, a capacity crowd of 22,500 would be in attendance, plus hundreds outside hoping to gain entry. The capacity was what it was. for so many were turned away. While waiting for the dancers to enter the stadium, the ceremonies would commence with the tune Shine on Harvest Moon. It was played on the huge Barton organ comprising of 3,663 pipes. There would be a thunderous ovation as the dancers would parade into the arena. Each year, big names such as Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, Dinah Shore, plus many more stars of stage, screen, and nightclubs would share the spotlight. No matter who was on the bill for the event, the crowd came primarily for the dancers. All who took part experienced the joy of knowing that the proceeds would be dedicated to the Purple Heart veterans. They were the sick and wounded servicemen and women of the Army, Navy, and veteran hospitals in the Chicago area who were unable to attend the event. The Star-Spangled Evening would come to a close with the anxiously awaited announcement naming the winners of the All-Around Ballroom Championship. Who will be the king and queen of the festival? The following day, pictures of the event would fill the newspaper. Whether the event was attended or not, it was the talk of the town. Everyone wanted to know who the winners were. Newspaper sales were fantastic. The final Harvest Moon Festival took place in 1962. Perhaps the name might have faded from memory had it not been for Ron and Polly Dodd going directly to the Sun-Times. After speaking to Mel Barker, permission was granted to use the already famous name Harvest Moon. As we then entered the new phase proudly with an old name, the venue for the first new Harvest Moon competition was held at the Aragon. It was the king of the ballrooms. We were honored with the presence of the legendary Alex Moore. He was a highly respected dignitary of the dance. The Dodds invited Alex to act as chairman of the judges for the first Harvest Moon competition. At the time, he had just completed his examination tour at the Dodd studio. The Imperial Society Technique book was published by Alex Moore for many years. The first edition was in 1948 and the final edition in 1994. Our next expression of appreciation is to be extended to Jay and Nellie Jarquin. Thank you, Jay and Nellie, for your dedication and effort which kept the ball rolling for so many years. Yours was a great contribution while extending the life of the Harvest Moon competition. During the 17-year duration of the Sun-Times Harvest Moon Festival, Chicago's very own Vito Bertucci was one of only 3 people who was a 3-time gold medal winner. It was the maximum number allowed. With us tonight is Joe Lato, another all-around champion of 1945. Joe's picture while dancing with his wife Emily appeared on the cover of the first Harvest Moon program. At age 98, he will dance for us tonight. Back in the 80s, 90s, and on into the 21st century, we have had the pleasure of seeing many great celebrities of the dance perform in the Chicago Harvest Moon Dancesport, the longest running name in competition history in America. Tonight, for this very occasion, several legendary dancers have returned once again to grace our dance floor. They indeed are stellar performers. Ron Montez, along with Elizabeth Curtis, reigned as undefeated United States Latin American champion and also went on to become Latin American world finalist. Tony Meredith and Melanie LaPatin, also Latin American champions, well known for their charismatic charm whenever they performed. Melissa Dexter achieved great heights with Rick Valenzuela and even greater heights with husband Giacomo to become Italian champions and European finalists. Alain Deschet and Annick Gillicourt, a legendary couple, they were Latin Standard and World 10 Dance champions for many years. Although the days of the big festival are over, the name lives on. We hope it never ends. It belongs to the great city of Chicago. So hats off and best wishes to the new owners as they step into the Chicago Harvest Moon history. We wish them many years of success. Bravo.